There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, Tuesday the 12th, and today we're going to talk about something which I don't think is talked about, and I think it should be. So probably least aware as ever as being a little bit controversial, but I actually think this is vital to actually what I call getting closure on appointments. And we are in unprecedented times, everybody. I have never in my 20 years, nearly 20 years, seen anything quite like we're seeing with the energy market. And it's actually, I would say, not only is it incredibly stressful for people, but it also it's confusing the market. So I'm going to now explain stuff to you that I know of and I'm allowed to say because it's been announced. A little while back, we were told that the 1st of October energy price hike was going to be 47%. And then it went up to 51. And now, astonishingly, it's 64. I think this is absolutely bizarre. I'm not quite sure what else to say, but I know that it's actually worrying some people terribly as they find out. But that's not it, folks. What's happened now is it has been announced that there will be quarterly price rises. So there's now going to be a price rise on the 1st of January, the 1st of April, and so forth. Now, the January price rise, they're talking about at the moment 4%. We don't know what the April one will be, but the one we are guaranteed on is the 1st of October at 64%. This is astonishing price rises, and I'm not quite sure how people are going to cope. In fact, I've just supported a new team member and signed up her 5th customer. And the lady was an elderly lady that was referred to her from a friend. And this lady was absolutely in a state of total utter shock. I'm going to explain to you why. Because Outfox the Market, who she was currently with, were quoting £653 a month on a 1-year fixed when her current rate had expired. She's been on a fixed rate and it runs out in a few days' time. So she hasn't even felt the 1st of April hike, which was 54%. She hasn't even felt that one. So this has come as a double shock to her. And be ready for this, ladies and gentlemen. These people that have been in fixed rates are in for some dire news. And I was really concerned about how I was going to present this and deliver this to somebody that was quite clearly distressed. Anyway, so we go on to the join the club, and I want you to hear this. I'm not going to do all this, all right? But you know what? You go on join the club, you enter the details. Now, if you're doing the job right for somebody, please can I say to you that do not, if somebody says I want gas and electric only, do not accept that. You say to them, that's absolutely fine. But what we have to do, to be fair to you, is show you the best prices that are available. And that's when somebody has at least 3 of our core services. So you must do this because you can always take off. All right, you can always take off. So this is what we did. Now, the new partner has done very well, and she's now basically doing the screens. And I was sat there more as an observer and a guide. But I did incredibly have to do quite a bit in the end because this shocked the partner too. So she was paying this lady $33.99 to PlusNet, which was expiring at the end of this month. So no exit fee at all. And then she was paying to Tesco through her daughter £5.80 for a mobile, a very low user. But here was the damning thing. Outfox the Market were quoting her 653 a month for a fixed rate. And when I did it times 12, well, do you know what? She nearly fell off the chair, literally, if you saw the video, because that was £7,836 just for energy. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say this to you, that is a mortgage. That is a serious mortgage. And this was a lady that's retired. Anyway, so we put everything into the system, and broadband ultra was perfectly acceptable at £21.60 because she was a homeowner. She wanted the calling package. She was not prepared to use her mobile more. I think possibly as time goes on with savings, I think there'll be more people that will be more flexible. But she liked to use a landline phone. So we put the Peak Saver package in, £11. And then I had to explain to her that it's thinking outside the box. And in order to get cheaper rates with us, we had to put another service in, and her mobile was the obvious one. So she was now going to pay another £6 more a month to £12 than she was currently paying to Tesco Mobile. Not quite £6, a bit less. Yeah. So we put all the figures in, and here we are. Instead of 653 fixed to outfox the market, we came in at £374. Now, you don't need to write all these figures down, because I'm going to say to you that when we add it all up on a yearly basis, this was the biggest saving I've seen ever. She's going to save £3,301.28 a year. That equated to £275. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Gwilym, I'm coaching. I have to go. Sorry, I've got all people in front of me and it's being recorded. Bye. God, he should be on it, shouldn't he? Right. So, fantastic saving, yes. However, the reality is there was still a lot of money to spend. A lot of money from what she's been paying. So this was my advice, and this is what I would say to all of you. We've put her on the fixed rate, but we've done it monthly direct debit in arrears, which means she will have to make sure there's readings given at the end of each month, but she will only pay for what she uses. Now, whilst we're in the summer months, which is right up till probably about November time, this will work perfect because she'll only pay for what she uses. So relatively, that monthly direct debit will be far lower than if she was doing the budget plan. Yeah. But then I said to her, without fail, October, November, you've got to ring up and ask to go onto budget plan. Otherwise, when you switch that heating on, you are going to see such a dramatic increase. And it would be better to spread the cost over the rest of the 10 months. And she agreed. I also gave some advice about only filling up the kettle. If you're only filling it up for one person for a mug of tea, only put so much water in. I told her if you can try and not use that tumble dryer, which uses enormous amounts of kilowatts, do so. Perhaps shut one of the rooms up that you never go in and say, right, switch the thermostat off the heater in there, because actually people are going to have to start making changes to allow for these huge increases. So that was an enormous one, and I've only literally just come off and supported on that. Great. But what I'm going to do now is show you how to do this. Okay. I have to be very careful because of GDPR. I cannot let you see names. Okay. But I'm going to share my screen and show you what's going on. So let me just bring into the fold what I'm doing. Okay, that's good. That's all right. Let me go share. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a form that I devised, and I've adapted and evolved as time has gone on. Lots of you have seen it. You possibly do something similar. Because what I'm learning is people want detail. People do not want guess. They want accuracy now, because this is big money. So it's simple. It says now annual cost, now monthly. That's simple, isn't it? UW monthly, UW annual cost. And there is an option for variable prices and for the fixed. Okay, simple stuff. Put it all in, add it up, get a figure. Put in possible cashback savings and another figure. Really simple. Here is where I write their present current energy supplier details. Okay, so annual kilowatt usage, annual cost. Possible meter fittings, one-off charges. And then down here, some information that when you do mobiles, I've got for up to 2, because that tends to be sort of the usual. Sometimes you get more, but all right. So a very simple form. That is the thing that I am completing, and I tend to do it in pencil because it's interesting how people think they know their prices. Then when they go to their bills and find out, it's always something different. So I do a lot of rubbing out as I'm going along. All right, so basic stuff. So what I'm now going to do is show you what was going on with a lady yesterday that I signed up. I've done 2 more since, by the way, but I'm going to, oops, this one first. Right, I'm going to show you this. So this is a single parent lady living on her own with her son. To quote her, she's in a very unique position because she's very lucky. She owns her home with her mother. And that's partly because sadly, her grandmother died and left a legacy to help. And she said, I know I am really well off. How did I get this lady? Well, last Thursday in readiness for the Henley Festival the next day, I had my nails done. And my dear daughter was away in Corfu on holiday, and so couldn't do, but she recommended a company called Tiger Lily. And when I looked up Tiger Lily, they run from Westbourne and also locally to me, Wimborne, and it made sense to book the Wimborne, which I did. And I had to choose online. I couldn't speak to anyone, but I chose what I thought looked like a nice smiley face. And it was the lady that did my nails, bless her. And she was very nice indeed. So while she was doing my toenails, we got down to what I call nitty-gritty chit-chat, because that's what you do, isn't it? You've got an hour or more together. And all I asked her was, so Katie, how are you finding the financial squeeze? What's it like for you with everything happening? And then I buttoned it. And for the next 15 minutes, possibly more, Katie poured forth. Oh gosh, she told me, well, the mortgage has gone up. She said prices are going up. She said petrol's going up and I have to travel from Verwood to Wimborne. And she said, my money's not going up. Parking's going up. In fact, she just kind of blurted it all out. And I said to her, what do you think you're going to do to make life easier financially? She said, well, I'm looking at trying to get myself another job. She said, because this is 3 days a week and I can't get any more hours. And she said, to be honest, I love doing it. It's fun, but it doesn't earn me the best money. Can you imagine what I was thinking to myself? So I looked at her, and this is maybe a line you'd like to use. And I went, Katie, do you believe in fate? And she said, why? I said, it's your lucky day. You don't know what I do, but I actually reduce people's bills. And I also show people how to make money. You don't, she said. I said, yeah. I said, that's what I do all the time. And I gave her an example of last week. I saved an elderly gentleman over £1,000 living on his own in a 2-bed flat. She went, wow. She said, before you go, she said, Lisa, would you make sure you get my number? And I purposely said I didn't have a card on me. So I took her number. I followed up on Saturday. I didn't ring her Friday. To be honest, Friday was a busy day with going to Henley and having a wonderful time. And I also had a bit of a slight hangover on the Saturday morning. So I waited till Saturday afternoon and I rang her. And hey presto, I got an appointment. And it was for yesterday morning. And what you're now going to see is what I did with Katie. Okay, so she was currently with Octopus. Now, please note the words say to the 31st July 23. Now, where have I got that figure from? I've got it because it's, sorry, how'd you get rid of that? That's it. Because that's when our current green fixed 32 tariff runs out. So I said to her, Katie, we're going to do this sort of roughly, but as accurately as we can. So how did I get figures together? I'm going to show you. I'm now going to show you her comparison. I'll just make sure you can't see her actual name and details. So here we are. Let's take a look at the energy. This was Octopus. This was on her bill. And please note, it was a June bill. So I knew that the 54% April hike was included. Yeah. So this was her usage. Okay. There was a gas. That was 13274. Sorry, no, 3274 and 977. And there was the cost. Yeah. Now, I said to her, we've actually got to put a 64% price hike on that for the 1st of October. And I said that excludes the January price hike and the April 23 price hike. So now let's go back. Let's go back to this sheet here. So what she was currently paying was $250 a month with Octopus. I said to her, in all realism, there's August and September left. 500 quid. I know it's a bit more, but we keep it to £500. Then on the 1st of October, we've got to apply 64%. Now, if you do that to 250, it's another £160. Add 162 to 250, you've got 410 going forward from the 1st of October. 10 months gets you to the end of July next year. 10 months at that is that. Add the 500. Now you've got £4,600. If you average that over the 12 months, that's 383.33. So on the screen, let me go back to UW, was the prices, okay, that were utility warehouse. But we have to apply, we have to do this fairly, we have to apply the 64% on the UW variable. So this was what was on the screen, 108. Well, that'll be for just 2 months, won't it, if it's variable? Okay, so there's 216. Now we do the same thing, apply the 64% on 108, that's 138.24. Add the 108, now you've got 246.24 for 10 months. That's 2,462. Add the 216, now you've got 2678.40. Can you start to see how good we are? That's on the variable. Is that good or what? Now the fixed. Well, the fixed is the fixed. So what was on the screen was exactly right. It was there. That's all we have to do. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So let's look at the fixed. So the electric, as on the screen, the JTC screen, was 63 a month, 761. The gas, add the two together, you've got that. 1841 divided by 12 brings you what's on the fixed screen of 153. Take 1841 away from 4600 and you've got an astonishing £2,759 saving. If they take a minimum 3 services. Does that all make sense?
Mm.
Yeah. So you've got to do this. Otherwise you can't just put what's on the screen, because the reality that's only going to last for 2 months on the variable. So you've actually got to do this. So let's now apply this into here. So there's the 761, there's the 1880. There is octopus with the reality of the 64%, because you've got to do that. So if you add up what she was paying to SSE for a broadband, there was utility warehouse. Actually, that was wrong. That was 2160. I don't know why it came out, first of all, with that. I had no idea, but it was 2160, all right. She was on a rolling SIM contract that was £14. She understood that by adding an extra £4, it was going to be a viable option to get the 3 services. This is called thinking outside the box. And this is what we have to show people. She sat next to me, by the way. She can see what I'm doing. And every step of the way, I keep saying, are you with me? Can you understand what I'm doing? And she said, yes, I can, totally. So if we add up those figures there, we get £5,116. This is a woman with a little boy on her own in a 2 up, 2 down. This is ridiculous, crazy. But if you take a look at the fixed, because do you know what? Was it worth bothering with the variable? Not really. Because when we add that and that and that and that, even in adding £2 a month for the cashback card, guess what? 2514. But I want you to notice something else. Look what I added in. Income protector. Because she worked more than 16 hours a week on a proper contract. She actually worked 24. I said to her, do you know what? Katie, if we add this in, I'm going to protect you that if something was to happen, you will get a payout of $750 up to $750 a month. So we added that in. Now we've got 4 services. What happens on 4? You get a £50 credit on the cashback card. She thought that was amazing. She also didn't have smart meters, so I could put another £50 for smart meters. I was conservative. I said, Katie, I would rather under promise and over deliver. Let's say you'll only get £20 a month cashback. Would that be fair? Yes. So look, 2514 from 5116, even adding in an extra service without cashback was 1,738 on the variable. With the fixed without cashback, 2,602. With cashback, 2,636. I said, Katie, would you like simpler billing? Would you like wonderful customer service? And you can talk to me and I'll help you. And would you like to be better off by 2,000, a minimum of 2,602? Do you think she said no? She nearly bit my hand off. But ladies and gentlemen, unless you do this, that wouldn't show like that at all. And this is reality. And Katie understood, as did the lady today, this is only allowing for the October price hike, not the January or the April. Is this big savings or what? Right, guys, I've shared that with you because I think it's really important. Okay. And the calculations are not difficult. You know, I use the calculator on my phone. The customer sits with me and I'm doing it every step of the way. Now, there'll be a bright spark, a green out there. In fact, one of them just rang me then, who's already told me, although he hasn't yet signed up a customer, has told me, oh, I should have this on a spreadsheet that will automatically work it all out. No, I disagree. I tell you why. Because when they sit with you and you work it out with them, they understand. If you just have a spreadsheet, there will always be a little bit of, oh, how did they get that? And we have got to be transparent completely. And that's what I do. Now, look, guys, I hate to be rude to you, but I've got to actually get off because I've got to go on another call. I'm just going to read your chat. I've got Lisa, I thought you were red. I never knew you were green. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, was that helpful? Yes. Do you think you've got it? Have you managed to get it? Would you like an example of the calculations sent out to you so you've got the format? Yeah,
Please. Yeah,
I promise to send it to you. Okay. And guys, all the best. There'll be something else next week. Hope this was helpful. Love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
bye.